Hey guys, so today's video is going to be the long-awaited inventory video. I have never done a video like this on my channel before. I'm a little nervous, but a little excited as well, because I do plan on doing like a halfway inventory update probably around June, and then another one at the end of the year, just to hold myself accountable. I do have swatches on my hand from my lip service intro, so that'll be up in the cards if you have not seen that yet. I just filmed that video like 2 seconds ago, so that should be up before this one. So we're just gonna get right into the numbers. I'm not gonna show you guys any product. This is strictly numbers. So for face primers, starting off with primers, I have 3 full-sized face primers. I only have 2 that I bought, but I did receive a package from Influenster about 2 days ago in which I got the Laura Mercier Flawless Radiance foundation and their face primer as well. So that category is at 3 right now, which, I mean, I'm not mad about. Realistically, I only need 1 face primer, so I wouldn't mind just having 1 face primer at a time in my collection, but again, 3 is not like a huge number. For eye primers, I also have 3. I am counting my NYX glitter glue in this category because I use it as a primer for my shimmer and glitter colors that I go on my lids, so that's one of them. And the other 2 are Urban Decay primer potions. Now, a lot of you guys know I don't really use eye primer, and I did get Urban Decay primer potions with one of my gift cards that I got for my birthday and Christmas, because I've been noticing, I don't know if it's the weather, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but my eyelids have been getting more oily than they used to. And it's not totally disrupting my eyeshadow, like I'm not noticing that my eyeshadow is gone by the end of the day, but I am noticing that oil is starting to come through a little bit more. It's starting to crease just slightly more. So I wanted to see if using an actual primer instead of concealer would do anything to help that, because I've heard LS talk about the Urban Decay primer potion a lot because she has really oily eyelids. So I decided to give them a chance. I picked up 2 because they had a sale, I believe at Ulta, I believe it was Ulta, where they had 2 primer potions for less than the price of 1. And I was gonna pick one up anyway, so I decided to just get that duo pack. For foundations, I did receive the Laura Mercier Radiance foundation like I just mentioned. So that brings me to a total of 4 full-sized foundations, and I have 1 sample of the Fenty foundation that I got at Sephora that I have not used up yet. So yeah, foundations, I feel a little bit iffy about that. 4 foundations is a good number. I feel it's not too much. The most amount of foundation I've ever owned at one time is, I believe, 15, so I'm definitely nowhere near that. But I really want to get my foundations down to like a core 2 or 3. I definitely know that Revlon Color Stay is ride or die for me, but I'm noticing my preferences slightly change. I do have oily skin. Well, I have technically combination skin because my T-zone, like my forehead and my nose, are very oily, but the rest of my face is pretty normal. So I've been noticing lately that I don't really want super matte foundations like what I have gotten accustomed to using over the years. I am now looking for more natural skin finish foundations, so foundations that are just slightly dewier. Again, I'm not going for anything too dewy because I have oily skin, but I'm not really enjoying the full matte look that much anymore. Right now on my face, I do have on the Laura Mercier Radiant foundation that I have been mentioning, and I love it. I also recently got the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation, which is a foundation that I received multiple samples of before I just decided to buy it because I love it so much. I love a natural skin finish, kind of like a satin, you could say, finish foundation, more so than a matte foundation. So I'm kind of wanting to look around at some more dewier foundations, some more natural foundations, to find one that I really, really love, so I can have like my one go-to matte foundation and my one go-to natural finish foundation. There is one product that I was feeling kind of confused on whether I should include it with my foundations or with my powders, because it is the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation that I love. It is classified as a foundation, but I use it a lot of the time to set my other foundations like I have today. I'm wearing the Laura Mercier foundation with the MAC powder foundation setting it on top. But also I love it as a foundation by itself, but I mostly just use it as a foundation on the days where like I really just want to do a makeup really quickly. So I am counting that as like a subcategory of foundations. So I have one powder foundation. I'm fine with that. I love it. I think it is a holy grail product for me at this point because it is a product that I find incredibly useful, more so than any other regular powder, because even putting it on top of other foundations, this is a radiant foundation. I wore this foundation also yesterday and I got oily within like 4 hours probably. And usually when I powder on top of an oily base, it'll mattify me for maybe 20-30 minutes and then my oils will start breaking through again, but that did not happen with the MAC powder foundation. When I touched up with the MAC powder foundation, my oils didn't start to peek through for like another 3 hours, which I thought was amazing and I was shocked at that. So that is a product that I would like to keep in my collection. For concealers, I have 3 concealers. I'm okay with that. Realistically, I would like to have 2. I want to find my core concealers that I love. I have found concealers that I really enjoy. I loved the Tarte Shape Tape when I had it, but that concealer is expensive and I don't want to have to shell out $30 for it. The Makeup Revolution dupe is really good, but again, I run out in like a month, so I don't want to keep buying that every month. The Sephora Collection concealer I like a lot. I was shocked at how good it was. But again, that is a concealer that I also go through fairly quickly. And I'm currently testing out the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So I have 2 Maybelline Instant Age Rewinds currently because I'm running low on one. And I have a backup one, and I also have the Sephora Gel Concealer. So I'm on the hunt for some concealers that have really amazing coverage, but that also last long in my collection. Like, I don't use them up in like a month, if you know what I mean. For correctors, which is kind of a subcategory of concealers, I have 2. I have them both from LA Girl, a peach corrector and a green corrector. I'm fine with that. For powders, I have my 1 loose face powder, totally fine with that. And I currently have 2 pressed powders for the face, not including the MAC one. Again, that's its own subcategory. I'm fine with the 2 pressed face powders. So when it comes to categories like blush and highlighter, I have those, I have singles of those, but I also have a lot of them in palettes. Like I have my 4-pan e.l.f. blush palette, I have a 3-pan Smashbox highlighter palette, and I do also have this Smashbox Ablaze face palette, which has 2 highlighters, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers. So I am counting the pans and not singles necessarily, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not counting like 3 face palettes and then the rest singles. I'm counting them pan by pan. So for blush, I have 14 blushes, which is quite a lot. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot in my collection because, as I said, a lot of them are in face palettes. 6 of them are in face palettes. The rest of them are singles. So it doesn't feel like I have a lot of blush, but I definitely don't need to buy anymore. I kind of feel lukewarm about that number. I'm not mad at it, but I also realize that I shouldn't be buying blush for a while. Highlighter, I have 13 pans of highlighter. It's gonna be 12 in like a few days because I'm almost done with my champagne pop. So yeah, again, I realize that I don't need to buy any more highlighter, but I'm also not mad at that number. It's because of that number that when I finish my champagne pop, I'm probably not gonna buy it right away. I am gonna buy it again in the future, of course. That's my favorite highlighter of all time. But I'm gonna take some time to give a little more loving to the other highlighters in my collection before I decide to go and purchase that again. For cream highlighter, I only have 1 pan of it and I'm almost out. I'm good with just like 1 or 2 cream highlighters in my collection. I kind of use them as a highlighter primer, I guess. I don't ever use them as highlighters on their own, so I'm good with like having like two. I love the ColourPop formula. I mostly buy them from ColourPop, so I'm actually gonna have to buy one next month because I'm running low on the one that I do have. So yeah, I'm fine with that number. It could go up one. For bronzer, I used to have 2 bronzers, now I have 4 because of the Smashbox face palette, and I am a little bit upset with that number. Well, actually, I take that back. I'm not too upset with that number. It's just that I realized that I use a blush and highlighter actually a lot more frequently than I use a bronzer. I go through about 1 a year. So I realized that I really don't need 4 bronzers. So I'm not gonna buy a bronzer anytime soon because no, I just don't need them. I just don't need them. Bronzer is something that I go through kind of at a more slower pace. I feel like when it comes to panning, face products are my forte. I can go through foundations, powders, concealers, blushes, and highlighters, but bronzers, I'm not that great with. Now we are going to move on to the eye stuff for eye palettes. I do have 16 palettes, which I feel like that's a lot. I know a lot of people on YouTube who do product panning have way more than I do, but I feel like 16 eye palettes is kind of a lot. And 2 of those, I believe, are my single shadows. My single shadows are not their own category. I put all of my singles in Z palettes, so I count those as palettes as well and not single shadows. So I only have 14 pre-made palettes, but again, I feel like I have a ton more eyeshadow than I really need, so hopefully those numbers are going to go down a little bit this year, I hope. I don't really have an ideal number for eyeshadow palettes, I just know that 16 ain't it. For brow products, I only have 2. I'm good with 2. One of them is my brow pomade from Ulta, the other one is brow gel. Fine with that. Don't really feel the need to buy any more, and I'm good with that. 2 is good. For mascara, I have 12 mascaras, which I know sounds like quite a lot, at least to me it does. It went up that high because I bought the Sephora Favorites Lash Kit, the bigger one that came with like 10 mascaras. 2 of those are full size and 8 of them are deluxe sized, so I have 8 deluxe sized mascaras and 4 full size mascaras total. I did that just so I would not have to buy mascara at all this year, which I'm happy about. So yeah, some of those mascaras might run over into 2020 as well. I'm hoping not, just because even when mascaras are closed, they can go bad on you. But I'm hoping to get the majority of those done this year so I can buy another kit at the end of the year and be good for all next year as well, because mascara is like one of those things that is necessary, but I don't like to buy it. So I'd rather just buy a big kit and not have to buy it for a whole nother year. I put glitters and pigments in the same category because they're kind of the same thing to me. I have 12 of those and I'm trying to decrease that number because I use them often enough, but they're starting to go bad. So I'm not trying to bring in too many of those this year. I want to work on the ones that I have because I have a feeling that some of the ones that I already own I'm gonna have to chuck pretty soon because I'm getting hardly anything out of them. So yeah, that number has to go down. Again, I don't have an ideal number. I don't have an ideal number for a lot of my categories. I just want my categories to be down to a size that I'm comfortable with, and that could mean 10, could mean 5, could mean 20. I just want my categories to be at a size where I'm comfortable with and that I know that I'm using all the products regularly. For eyeliners, I have 4 total. I have 2 pencil eyeliners, 1 liquid eyeliner, and 1 gel eyeliner. I would like to get that down to 2 eyeliners. I would like to have 1 liquid and 1 pencil, especially because all the eyeliners that I currently have are black, so I really don't need all those options. For a long time I did prefer gel liner, but lately I'm preferring liquid, and I would like to have 1 pencil liner just to run through my lower lash line when I'm doing more of a smoky look. So I would like to have 1 pencil liner and 1 liquid liner. Now we are getting into lips. For lip glosses, I have 9 lip glosses, which again is not too bad. I'm not mad at it, but I'm not trying to bring in more lip gloss until I use up some of the ones that I have. For lip liners, I have 8, which again, not mad at. I don't want any more. I feel like the lip liners I have are sufficient enough for me because I have a wide range of colors. For lipsticks, I have a total of 38, which is really not bad considering I used to have hundreds and hundreds of lipsticks years ago. So, I mean, I would like that to go down, and it is going to go down with the Lip Service Project Pan, which will also be in the cards. So I am going to use up lipsticks this year. Again, I don't have an ideal number. I just feel like even 38 is getting to be a little bit too much for me. Last but not least, setting spray. I only have one. I'm fine with it. I've been using the Mario Badescu one for about a year and a half now. I do want to venture out and test out some new ones, but I'm not really sure where to go because I don't want to get a high-end one. I want to stick to like drugstore prices for that, so I'll look into it. So yeah, this was my makeup inventory by the numbers. So glad that was over with because that was a lot of talking. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already to make sure you can stick around for the next video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!